Hello, my name is Vipul, and in this video we are going to talk about Workflow Monitor of Informatica. What is a Workflow Monitor? Workflow Monitor is a place where we actually see how a workflow gets executed, the different types of details of that workflow, that is the execution time, and what time it started, what time it got completed, what is the status finally of that workflow, whether it succeeded or whether it got failed. All of these different details we can check in Workflow Monitor. So this is how the Workflow Monitor looks like. How to launch this Workflow Monitor? From inside your designer window or from your the Workflow designer window, you can just click this Workflow Monitor, the M icon, and this window is going to get launched. Once you launch this window, you will have to connect to a particular repository. In our case, since we were working on this repository REP, I'm going to connect to this, and let us put the username, password, connect, and as you see here, it is showing the integration service as INT. We are again going to connect to this integration service, and after connecting, we see there are different folders in it. So let us open one of these folders where we actually ran recently a workflow. So in this folder cus_dev, this workflow was made to execute. Here, as you see, there is a start time mentioned, completion time mentioned, and the status mentioned. Now this area that is below the mid screen, this is the area where actually the output messages or the properties are seen. This is called as a properties window. This is the area which is called as navigator window, and this is the area which is called as the time, execution, and the status window. So this is how the whole Workflow Monitor is divided. This is the tab for viewing the tasks. It's also called as task view. If we click on this Gantt chart, here we can see actually the timing wise each and every execution of the workflow. So each of the executions here is going to as it gets started, it is going to mark here with some color on that particular timestamp, when it started, when it got stopped, how much time it took, etc., etc. So let us now try to quickly run a workflow and see in reality how this works. This is the workflow we made. In this workflow, we have one session task which is connected to the mapping, whose job is to load the data from employee table to the employee target table. Since we have not made any change in this repository, in this workflow, but because we have closed it and we have reopened the window, so our the best practice should be to okay, well, there is no validation required here because there was no change at all done. So all we can do is just try to save it, and it might really pop up a message saying no changes detected in current active folder, which is fine. Now we are going to run this workflow as it is and say starts workflow. It has started executing. As we see here in Gantt chart, it is now showing the status as running. It is showing how much duration, how much time it took, and now it has finally succeeded. And you see here that in this timestamp, because I am running it at this time here at 1 p.m., it has marked here in the green color. So it's almost 1:20 p.m. right now. So it is marked it in the middle of this box. Now if we want to further see the properties of this workflow, we have to click get run properties after right clicking. Here you see there are 4 kinds of windows. One is your task details, which shows the complete details about the session that ran, the session task and the integration service, on which node it was run, and what was the start time, end time, and what was the final status, and what was the name of the mapping. And then it is showing these rows, the number of rows that has been processed. In detailing of the rows can be seen in the second window also. the source and target statistics, where it shows your transformation name of the target, and how many rows were applied, how many were affected. Because when we are using any kind of transformation, there might be, the difference in the number of rows that are coming from the source, and finally number of rows which are getting into loaded into the target. So this is how each and every detailing, including the throughput, number of rows per second processed by Informatica, that is seen from here. So all of this statistics is useful during the performance tuning. Then here we also have partition details, which tells about the partition and the node and the transformation, and it's again more of the performance tuning side of Informatica. Same for the performance tab also. So this is what is called as the run properties. Other than that, we can actually look at the session log. Session logs gives more information, in detail information of how stepwise each and every the thing was executed when we actually started the workflow. So here it's almost similar kind of information, but in a different way. It shows the timestamp, it shows the node, it shows thread, and the message. Those are the message codes of Informatica. Just like Oracle has different codes, here for Informatica too there are different codes. So all those, for each of those messages, it has written here what exactly the job Informatica did at that particular time. These are all the windows which are used for looking at the workflow in case there was any kind of an error. These are the windows which help us to find where exactly the error happened, or if there was some discrepancy in the rows while after it got loaded. Everything is actually tracked through these windows inside the workflow monitor. So I hope this is clear. Next we are going to talk about the further topics. Thank you.